What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from Scalar Learning. I'm Huzaifa, and we are continuing today to roll through the October SAT math section. We've already gone through the calculator section in the last 2 days. Today, we're going to start tackling the calculator section. I got the Google calculator here ready to go when need be. Now, without further ado, let's get on to the testing. And just to let you know, tomorrow, in addition to going through the remainder of the calculator section, I'm going to be knocking out a presentation that I like to give to everybody watching every time they're about to take the SAT. It's really to help you get that last little bit of bounce, that last bump in points, to really make sure you do your absolute best. And I mean, if a lot of the tips that I'm going to be giving you guys tomorrow for part 4 if you do them right, if you're not doing them already, honestly, it can give you a boost of 40, 50 points depending on where you're at. So it's really, really valuable. I definitely encourage you to tune in tomorrow when I do the live stream. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the test. All right, so we're going to try and get through about half of these today. There are 38 questions. Let's do it. Question number 1, a helicopter initially hovering 40 feet above the ground begins to gain altitude at a rate of 21 feet per second. Which of the following functions represents the helicopter's altitude above the ground, y, in feet, t seconds, after it begins to gain altitude? So look, that question, this right here, 40 feet above the ground, that's my starting point. So that's always going to be my y-intercept. The change is it's going up 21 feet every second. And that's it. Okay, it's going up. So every time t, which represents seconds, every time when t is 1, it's increased by 21 seconds. T is 2, it's increased by 42 seconds. So that's how we're setting this up. This is my change multiplying the variable, and that's my starting position. So the answer should be B, right? They just kind of switched the order of these two, but commutative property said that's all good. It doesn't change anything. All right, next. A text messaging plan charges a flat fee of $5 per month. This is straight up from one of the, so similar to one of the text messages, kind of similar on one of the Khan Academy questions. Flat fee of $5 per month for up to 100 text messages sent, plus 25 cents. For each additional text message sent that month. Though this is graphs, so it's a little different than the one I'm thinking of. Which of the following graphs represents the cost? So look, we should start at 5, okay? And then raise up by 25 cents, whatever. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Excuse me. It should be $5 up to the point that we send 100. And then after that, it should steadily climb. So A is actually the winner right here. This doesn't make sense because then it's like our cost goes down. That doesn't make any sense. This would make sense if it was $5 and then you're charging each text message. But it says $5 for up to 100. So we're getting no additional charge up to 100, and then it goes up. So that's why A is correct. Cool. All right, next. Jake buys a bag of popcorn at a movie theater. He eats half the popcorn during the 15 minutes of previews. After eating half the popcorn, he stops eating for 30 minutes. So check this out. Look, we're trying to paint a picture with the graph. And you can see its amount of popcorn and then time. All right. Then he gradually eats the popcorn until he spills all the remaining popcorn. So I can kind of show you what's going on. If we've got popcorn here, this is the amount of popcorn. First, he's going to eat half of it in 15 minutes. Then he stops eating for 30 minutes, so just stay stagnant. Then he gradually eats the rest, so it's more steady, until he, boom, spills all of it. So the graph should look something like this. This one almost looks good. This one looks pretty good, right? Boom, 15 minutes, then he chills for 30 minutes, then he gradually eats it, and then boom, spills it all. So I'm going to go with B. All right, next. If 20 minus x equals 15, what is the value of 3x? Okay. I'm going to Solve for x. Negative x equals -5. Multiply both sides by -1. X equals 5. Therefore, 3x equals 15. C. Next. F of x equals x plus 3 over 2. For the function defined above, what is the value of f of -1? All they're saying is plug -1 in for x, so I'm going to plug it in. It's going to be -1 plus 3 over 2 equals 2 over 2 equals 1, which is C. Boom. Next. 2x, which of the following is equivalent to this? Look, all we're doing here is distributing and simplifying. So distribute. As I mentioned before, you see something like this, your instinct should be immediately distribute, even if you don't know what you're doing afterwards or why. And just do it, and it'll usually come together. So 2x times that is 2x cubed. 2x times that is 6x squared. And there it is, which is D. Boom. A retail company has 50 large stores located in different areas throughout a state. A researcher for the company believes that employee job satisfaction varies greatly from store to store. So which of the following sampling methods is most appropriate to estimate the proportion for all employees of the company who are satisfied? Selecting one of the 50 stores at random. Okay, that's not great because we're getting just one little store. If we got 50 stores, we want to get a better sample. We can do better than that. Selecting 10 employees from each store at random and then surveying each employee selected. That's definitely better because we're doing 10 at all the 50, so we're surveying 500. Surveying the 25 highest paid employees and the 25 lowest paid employees. Why? Why do you have to have that split? You're leaving out the middle sector, so there's no reason to add that additional bias. So C is not as good as B. Creating a website on which employees can express their opinions and then using only the first 50 responses. Why? Because a lot of times that also biases, right? We're biasing towards those people who really want to share. And a lot of times that could be negative, or maybe it could be positive. Usually it's negative. The people who are most vocal want to say negative stuff. So your best bet should be B here. Yeah. Next. The two graphs above show total amounts of money that Ian and Jeremy have deposited. After they made their initial deposits, how much more did Ian deposit each week than Jeremy? So let's see. Ian is this graph, right? So Ian goes up, looks like 100 each week, 100, 200, 300, etc. Jeremy looks like he only does 50, right? In week 0, 300, week 1, 350, week 2, 400. But the question is, how much more? Not how much did Ian deposit, which is 100, how much more? So if Ian, did 100, Jeremy, 50, it's a difference of 50. And that should be C. Next, the function h is defined above. What is h of 5 minus h of 3? All we're doing, this means we're plugging in 5 into x and then 3 into x. So it's like 2 to the 5th minus 2 to the 3rd. Now you just have to, you can use a calculator for this, but you don't need it. 2 to the 5th is 32. 2 to the 3rd is 8. We subtract, and we get 24, which is C. That's it. Question number 10. A researcher, look how wordy these problems are. There's a lot of words, which is just what the SAT has become. A researcher surveyed a random sample of students about how often they see movies. Using the sample data, the researcher estimated that 23% of the students in the population saw a movie at least once per month. Okay. Once per month. The margin of error is 4%. Okay. Which of the following is the most appropriate conclusion based on the margin of error? It is unlikely that less than 23%. So this doesn't even account for the margin of error. Usually margin of error means this could be 4% on the low side and this could also be 4% on the high side. So really what we know is that the range is really somewhere between 19 and 27%. That's what a 4% margin of error means. And now we can kind of, I see it right here, 19 and 27. But the research is between 19 and 27% sure. Yes. Oh. Between 19, no. Not this. This isn't his percentage of certainty. It's plausible that the percentage of students who see a movie at least once per month is between this value. It's a D. This is conflating the percentage that they're going to see a movie with his certainty. So D is the right answer. All right, we got two lists. The table shows two lists of numbers. Which of the following is a true statement comparing list A and B? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The other one is 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Okay. It says the mean. They're talking about the means. Okay, let's see. First of all, are the means the same or not? I'm pretty positive. Wait. 3, 6, 10, 15, 21. The sum of those is 21. This is 5, 8, 12, 16. Right? Just making sure I did the math right. 8, 12. Yeah, so they're both 21. So they both have the same means. It's both 21 divided by 6, which is 3.5. So the means are the same. So if I look at A, B, C, D, C and D are out. Now the question is, are the standard deviations the same or different? Standard deviation is, if my mean is 3.5, it's the spread of the data, how close it is to the mean. You can clearly see this is more spread out than this guy. This is more closer to the mean of 3.5. So clearly, it doesn't matter which one has a greater or lesser standard deviation. I mean, this one has a greater one, but it's not even asking that. So they're the same. They're not the same. So it's got to be D. Oh, wait, what? Oh, oops, not D. Sorry, I crossed off C and D. I meant A. The means are the same. The standard deviations are different. There you go. Okay, next. A book was on sale for 40% of its original price. 40% off its original price. Okay, we have to set this up. If the sale price of the book is 18, which means the regular price, we don't multiply it by 0.4. Common mistake. It's saying 40% off of this, meaning 60%, right? We take 40% off of something, we got 60% left. So 60% of the original price is 18. Now what's the original price of the book, meaning let's isolate P. So we're going to divide both sides by 0.6, and we get P equals 30, which is C. But you see how easy this problem is if you can just put it in terms of an equation. And once you do that, it's all about isolation, knowing what the variable represents. But that's the easiest way to do it. Just for fun, if I would have set it up like this, I bet you a way that was common for most people. I think we'd get 45, which, see, they put it on there. Of course they did, right? I mean, I don't blame them. But they want to make sure you understand that correctly. Next. Okay, we have 3 colonies of insects were treated with different pesticide over 8-week period. Colonies A, B, and C were treated with A, B, and C respectively. It was applied every 2 weeks. The bar graph shows the insect counts. Okay, for various weeks of treatment. Which of the following colonies showed a decrease in size every 2 weeks after the initial treatment? Okay, let's see. A, right? You see that? A goes down every time. And so does B. Boom, 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 boom. Not C, though. C spikes and then drops. So A and B. So it's 1 and 2, which is C. And then, of the following, which is closest to the ratio of the total number of insects in all 3 colonies? In all 3 colonies in week 8. To the total number of insects at the time of initial treatment. It's the ratio of the total number of insects. Okay, let's see, week 8. So it'll probably be like 20, 30 plus 50, 80 to initial treatment, which is 80. I'm going to say 80 plus 60 plus 60. I'm just going to say approximately. Those look about 60. Split the difference, right? So that's 200. All right. We can simplify this to be 8 to 20. Divided both by 4, and we get 2 to 5. So that's my guess, which is A, and it's correct. Next. A right circular cone has a volume of 24 pi cubic inches. Oh, this is the one I got wrong, guys. This is the one I got wrong on this test. And all right, so first of all, this was just me putting down the wrong formula. I can't believe I made this mistake. A right circular cone is this formula. So it says the volume of this right circular cone is 24 pi. The height is 2 inches. So replace height with 2. All we have to do is solve for r. Really not a hard problem. But I put in the formula. I didn't include this because that's the formula for a cylinder. So I just didn't read it carefully enough. And now we isolate r. So first of all, I'm going to divide both sides by pi. Those go away. And I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 to get rid of the 1/3. So that goes away. And now I have r squared times 2 equals 72. Divide both sides by 2. R squared equals 36. R equals 6. And it's B. And I chose A when I did this, but there it is. Next question. In 2015, the populations of city X and Y were equal. From 2010, okay. These guys are equal. 2010 to 2015, or sorry, the population of X increased by 20%. So we can say 1.2x if this is X. And Y decreased by 10. So this is Y, this is 0.9, right? That's a decrease of 10%. It's now 90% of what it was. If population city X was 120,000 in 2010, what was the population of this guy here? Well, we can do it like this. If it's 120,000 here, what did it become in 2015? Well, it's whatever 1.2 times that is, which I think I know without a calculator. It's 144,000. And then now, well, this is 144,000. That means this is 144,000 because these guys are equal, which means that 0.9y equals 144,000, which means to isolate y, we divide by 0.9, which this I cannot do in my head. There it is, 160, and that's C. Next. Oh, wait, did we skip something? Yeah. The volume of a sphere is given by this formula. All right. Which of the following gives the radius in terms of the volume? All they're doing is they're isolating r. That's it. So let's do it here. Okay. R cubed. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3/4. That makes that go away. 3/4 V. Pi r cubed. Divide both sides by pi. Okay. We get 3v over 4 pi equals r cubed. Then last but not least, take the cube root of both sides. And this is our answer. Cube root of 3v over 4 pi. Done. D. And you can probably tell my voice is now it's starting to struggle a little bit. We're almost at the halfway point. I think I'm going to stop at 20. The table above shows the results of a survey. in which tablet users were asked how often they would watch video advertisements. Based on the table, which of the following is closest to the probability that a tabler used it answered always, given they did not answer never? So we take never out of the mix, and then we got 24.3 plus 13.5 plus 30.9. Okay, here's never, by the way. Let's add them up. I'll just add them without a calculator. Okay, and now the probability is 24.3 out of that total, excluding never. So 24.3 divided by 68.7. That's probability, right? It's the... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I did rarely. Sorry. I meant to do always. Whoops. It should be 30.9 on top. Good thing I caught that. 30.9 divided by 45. So it should be C. And that's it. Probability is the chance of what we want, what we're trying to find, over the total. That's it. We'll knock out two more. And the parabola above the equation A is constant. The graph of the equation is a parabola. What's true? All right. This is in vertex form. Okay. Now, the important things to recognize are this. First of all, the vertex is this value, but because it's always x minus h squared plus k, meaning this is my center coordinates, okay? hk is the center, but remember it's positive h. The minus is actually, when it's minus, this is positive. If it's plus, then it's negative. So my center here is 3 comma a, okay? But now here's the question that this poses. Not just is that sorry, I didn't mean center, I meant vertex. But is this vertex a max or a minimum? It's definitely 3a, so we can get rid of a and c. But is it a minimum or a maximum? Because of this right here, it's a maximum. That means the parabola goes like this if you have a negative in front of that. So there's the vertex, and it's a maximum. So maximum occurs at 3a, which is D. Last one. The maximum value of a data set consisting of 25 positive integers is 84. A new data set consisting of 26 positive integers is created by including 96. So now they're adding 96. Which of the following measures must be 12 greater for the new data set than it's the range? Look, all that happened is we have a bunch of numbers, blah, 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 blah. 84 is the max. Here's my minimum. Let's pretend the minimum is like 10. It doesn't matter. The original range was 74. Now with 96, the range is 96 minus 10, which is 86. The range went up by, oops. Oh boy, that was crazy. Hold on. I don't even know how to add that back. All right, anyways. The range went up by 12, so it's C. Okay, we got through problems 1 through 20, and I'm going to quickly see if there's any questions. All right, guys, what's up? So, yeah, thanks. Thanks for the thing about my beard. I just haven't shaved in a while. Here's the deal. The English section, honestly, guys, I can review it, but I don't really, it's just something, those are just things that I know from being a native English speaker and growing up here. I don't really study it, and I guess I could explain it if you guys really want to, but math is where I want you guys to get. I want you guys to learn math from me. I'd rather you learn English from other tutors, maybe Super Tutor TV or other folks like that really specialize in verbal. Right now, I just feel that's the best place. But if a lot of people want it, I can do it. Yo, Contran, you're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you for telling me thank you, because that makes me feel good, especially my voice is hurting right now. So I appreciate the love. It makes me feel like I'm getting appreciated. Again, another person want the reading and grammar. Okay, let me think about it. Let me also see how my voice is doing tomorrow, and if I feel up to it, and if I can do it, because already just this short live stream of 25 minutes, my voice is hurting. Can you do 30? Nima, if you're still on, is there any way you can log in tomorrow and watch me do 30 tomorrow? Because it's going to be in the questions then. You let me know. And other than that, so look, tips for acing the reading section. I'm a firm believer that reading is a very personal activity in terms of the ways that you like to read. I'm not a big fan of, I've heard stories of tutors coming in at the last minute and be like, no, you don't do it the way you're comfortable doing it. I want you to just skim the questions, then do this, underline keywords, and try all this crazy stuff that is just the only way any strategy like that, which I don't even advocate for those strategies, the only thing like anything like that will work is if you practice it over and over for a long period of time, and maybe it will give you improved results. But in general, I say read the way you're comfortable. And if you're unsure about the reading section, do a lot of practice today, tomorrow, up to a certain point. By the time it's starting to get 4 or 5 o'clock, usually I wouldn't even say to study on Friday, but if you really want to, you can do a little bit of studying and call it quits by around 4 or 4:30, and then you can kind of take it easy. I'll be doing another live stream tomorrow, so if you want your last bit of studying to be watching me, that's okay, because then you're just watching, you're listening. But I don't want you going crazy, doing too much the day before to stress yourself out. But we'll be doing that. I'll be giving you my presentation with these like sick 5 tips that I said, again, can give you a solid jump of 50 points if you implement everything. And they're so easy. They're not changing any sort of major strategy in the math section. It's just a smarter way to go about approaching the math section, certain ways that can really give you a nice boost if you're not doing these things already. All right, Nima, awesome. So I will do I'll do problem 30 for you tomorrow. Guys, thank you all for joining and watching. If you enjoyed this and you found it useful, please click the like button. It really helps me, and it also shows me that this is working. This is giving you guys help, so it gives me feedback to keep doing what I'm doing. And again, if you have additional comments from watching this, please leave those comments please leave those questions in the comment section. I'll hit those up. As I said, my voice is really hurting today, so I gotta log off. But thank you guys for joining, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'm figuring out the time right now, so that'll be posted, and that's it. Good luck, everybody, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.